Welcome back to The Nest. My name's Danielle Dupuis, and I'll be your sideline sports reporter for the duration of today's game. After a little bit of a bump in the road, the Humber women's volleyball team are back in action at The Nest. They'll be facing off against the Mohawk Mountaineers, who are right now sitting 5th right now in the OCAA, while our women's volleyball team are 2nd. Definitely going to be a match everyone will want to tune into. And for more on that, back to our commentators. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that report, Danielle. And as she mentioned, I'm Adam Lucier here with my broadcasting partner, Andrew Milani. And
I don't know.
Like Danielle mentioned, a little bit of a bump in the road there for the Humber Hawks as they dropped a decision to St. Clair, snapping that 7-year streak they had going. And Andrew, what does the team have to do tonight really to right the ship, what their approach has to be?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, all they have to do is really just put that loss in the rearview mirror. They can't be too concerned about that. Of course, that streak was a huge achievement. 155 consecutive victories over OCAA regular season and playoff games. And of course, that is an OCAA record. And as I said before, all they have to do is put that in the rearview mirror and focus on the Mohawk Mountaineers, who do come in with a very capable team here tonight.
Absolutely. The Mountaineers currently sitting at 3-2. That's good enough for 5th in the Western Conference. And as we mentioned, that streak, an absolute amazing accomplishment for this women's volleyball program. It's unheard of to find that type of longevity in their success. I mean, we look at the stats here. That's 11 straight OCAA championships. And for the Mountaineers, they have quite the hill to climb as they try to take out a Humber squad, which I imagine has a lot of fire in them tonight, trying to right the wrongs of dropping that decision to St. Clair.
Yeah, you were close to almost a perfect pun there. With all you need to do is put mountain there instead of hill.
Yeah.
But yes, Mohawk, they do come in with a very good roster. Their offensive court is their offense is based around Jessica Hedberg and Amanda Kuiper. Those are two players that Humber will definitely want to focus in on tonight with their game plan. Absolutely.
A couple of standouts on this Mohawk side, but definitely some names to mention on the Humber side is Kyla Wilkins, the 5th year. She had quite the accomplishment recently with a total of 454 digs on her career. She took the school record in her Humber career, and with numbers like that, breaking the record just early in this season, she has a chance to go over 500, which would put that record far out of reach.
Absolutely. That's now the chase for 500 is on for Wilkins. And it looks like she won't take too much longer to get to it. It's a very achievable goal for her.
Yeah, she'll look to climb closer tonight as we mentioned, coming off their first loss in 7 years. The Humber Hawks tried to get the W here against the Mountaineers tonight. The Hawks sitting currently at 3-1, 2nd in that Western Conference. And who else on that Humber roster do you really look to have a response?
Well, it all comes down to it all comes down to Julia Watson, Haley Henderson, and Kyla Wilkins. Those are the big three for Humber coming into this game this evening.
So we're getting close to game time here as we're getting set for the beginning of this matchup. We're just in time for the national anthem here along with player introductions, so we'll get back to you on first serve.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next here at the Humber Athletic Center for the St. Louis City Mohawk Mountaineers and Joe Humber Hawks. At this time, we would ask you to please stand your name for the playing of our national anthem.
The other end. Right side of the Roberts and number 19, Jennifer Noble. Noble Harrell is in Roberts and is number 1 in Paul Clark. The head coach for the Mohawk Mountaineers is Matthew Sean.
right, so after those player introductions, we are all but ready to go here at the Hawks Nest. And if those introductions don't get you fired up for some volleyball, I don't know what will.
That was quite the introduction. We're just about ready to go here.
So the Hawks off one historic streak, look to begin a new one tonight as they'll take on the Mohawk Mountaineers here at the Hawks Nest. As we see Kyla Wilkins, the libero for the Hawks, ready her troops as they get ready to do battle with the Mountaineers. First touch of the game goes to the first year, Haley Henderson. Very impressive rookie thus far this season. And once again, that's Wilkins with a nice play there. And a dig attempt made by Mohawk. That's Kinsley Child, but just off the knuckle it appeared as that rolls to the floor for the first Humber point.
Yeah, she was just out of position for that one. Couldn't get there in time.
Henderson again. That's over on one. Not ideal for Mohawk, and Alex Kristonisic with an easy point there. She fires that one right back down the throat of Mohawk.
A beautiful kill there. Put it right out of a place where the Mountaineers could have got to it.
Henderson has been an absolute star as a first-year player for the Hawks. As the Hawks corral this one, Wilkins puts it up the far side. That's Watson off the block. The libero gets a hand on it. That's Holly Clark, but unable to hold on to that one as that gets away.
Yeah, that ball was just a little too hot to handle. Mountaineers again can't handle it. Another point here for Humber as they're off to a nice little start here.
A nice touch set there by Caper, but it's Watson again who will return it. And once again, Kinsley Child in that back corner can't get a hand on it. And Watson gets credit for that kill. And the girls are jumping tonight. See them coming off the bench. There's a lot of energy in the building tonight coming off that tough loss to St. Clair, but obviously it's easy to be disappointed when a streak like that comes to an end at 7 years. But really, when you look back, it has to be seen as a major accomplishment for this program.
Absolutely, and these girls, they are not being taken down by that at all. They're just fired up, and I think they're looking to the next 155 win streak that they'll hopefully to get started here tonight. They're just brimming with confidence here tonight.
Well, step one towards that new streak begins tonight, and they're coming out all guns firing, 4-zip so far for the Hawks.
Yeah, Child's caught out there a little bit out of position both time. Just not the fleas to foot out there. She's not able to get those balls in time. We'll see what she does here if she responds.
Only server of the game thus far. Henderson gets it underway. That's Caper. And that's a kill for Jennifer Knowles, the only fifth-year player on the Mohawk Mountaineer team. So not too much veteran experience for the Mountaineers, but once again, they do sit fifth in the West, right in the middle of the pack. As Knowles gets that one away. That's set up to Alex Kristonisic. That'll be the first point for Mohawk, as that one will miss target area. Apologies, second point for Mohawk. It's 4-2 Hawks. Knowles on the serve. Goes all the way over to Watson. And she'll put it through the hands of two blockers, and that'll be down for a point. It's 5-2 Hawks, their biggest lead.
Another nicely placed ball there as the libero, Holly Clark, just can't get to it in time. Another point here for Humber.
Kristonisic, that serve will find the net. And a quick point there for the Mountaineers.
Kristonisic, not the greatest server. She doesn't have a single service ace this year.
Here's Emsley on the serve for the Mountaineers. Put up on the far side, and a nice dig there. Tip back over by Falcomer. But it's Caper who will have the set here. Both blockers went up. That's Falcomer and Heaney. But neither of them were unable to get to it as that dropped to their feet for a Mohawk point.
Nice hard ball there, struck by the Mountaineers to get that one past the blockers. Good play there by the Mountaineers.
Emsley, that serve just kissed the net. That's put up by Kuiper. To the far side, can't get through the blocks of Falcomer and Watson. Saw Emsley serve there. She has a ridiculous 11 service aces so far in just the 5 games played, so you don't want to let her to get on too many runs.
Absolutely not. Another ball there, just a little too hot to handle there for the Mountaineers. That was Emsley not able to handle it this time.
Speaking of service aces, there's Julia Watson with one of her own. She'll have another go here. That one looks long, and it is plenty long as that sneaks out the back of the court.
Mohawks really responded well after that timeout there. Looked like this could have been a quick set there for Humber as they got up to a quick 4-0 lead. But Mohawks really battled back into this one, getting 5 of the last 7 points, or 8 points, excuse me.
That one corralled by Heaney. Put up the Falcomer, looking for that back corner, but it's tossed up. Mountaineers able to bump it back over. And a cheeky little over on 2 there. But they'll set up for Falcomer. And she goes off the block and down for a big Hawk point.
Yeah, nice play there by Falcomer. Ball was tipped there by Mountaineers. Might have gone out. But good play there.
Heaney once again. The float over to the Mountaineer side. Kuiper puts it up for Smith. The libero corrals it. Once again, Kuiper puts up a set, but no one there to retrieve it. That's a miscommunication there between Sailor Smith and Jennifer Knowles.
Yeah, not enough communication there. As a team, you got to be talking to each other the whole time. Know who's going to be where and when. Again, just not enough there as Humber gets an easy point there.
So they find themselves once again up 4. That one's lightly volleyed over, corralled by Wilkins. Falcomer puts a heat on it, but it's corralled. Kuiper once again. Who's going to get it this time? That's kicked way up. It's on Kuiper to get it over. She just pushes that across. Strong play there made by Emsley.
Nice little rally here going on.
Absolutely, some momentum turning on here as Falcomer tips that one over, gets up on the block, but off the block and dropping. That's a point for the Mountaineers when they need it most. Coming back and making it a 3-point deficit.
It looked like Bartman was almost going to have a point there with a nice cheeky little push over the net, but the Mountaineers really read that well and turned that into a point.
So here's Kuiper, the assist phenom for the Mountaineers. Henderson with a chance here. Can't get it done. Over on 1 goes Falcomer. But the Mountaineers have a hold on that one. Violation goes against Humber. It'll be a point for the Mountaineers. As Kuiper with another opportunity to serve here. 9-7 in set number 1. Rocket of a serve, handled by the libero Wilkins. And Wilkins, tough set there made by Alex Bartman, as the libero was unable to get under that one.
Yeah, ball was put in a little bit of a tough spot for her. Would have been a tough job for her to put that one over the net.
Opportunity to tie up this game, but that sure won't help as Kuiper puts that one into the net.
Kuiper not necessarily known for her serving skills. Hands over a point there to Humber.
There's a serve from Falcomer. Over once again and put away with authority with the kill, Alex Kersanisic.
Nice little play there. Really gets that heat behind the ball, gets her over the net for the point.
And we've seen that a couple times tonight, Andrew. Sloppy sets on the side of Mohawk, resulting in an instant kill by the Hawks. Controlled by the libero. Over to the far side, through the block goes Kinsley Child, and she'll get credit for the kill with that point.
Nice little play there by Mohawk to get the point back there on that one. Only down here by 2. It's been a real tight game, especially after that first timeout, as we did mention before.
Great dig there by Wilkins. Won't be the last time we say that tonight. That one's put up there. It's going to be a tough play. Wilkins gets to it. Who's going to put it over? It's Watson with the nice bump, and we got a rally going here at the Hawks Nest. As Wilkins again corrals that from the back court. It's Heaney. Kuiper sets to Knowles, cross court, and the point will go to Humber as that's out in a very, very entertaining rally there.
Even though Kyla Wilkins didn't get her hand on that ball at the end there, you really got to hand that point over to her. A couple nice hard plays that she had to make to get the point there. It really pays off.
We talked about Wilkins working her way towards 500 career digs. If she continues playing like this, it sure won't take long as we see that service ace there.
Absolutely not. To be that libero, you have to really be the defensive captain of that team, and Kyla Wilkins really living up to that here tonight.
Alex Bartman with the serve. Over to Child, tough play of the net. Kuiper, nice work to corral that one, but the point will go to Humber. So a valiant effort on the side of the Mountaineers, but no good as the ball goes to the hands once again of Alex Bartman.
And Mohawk better be careful here. If they don't get their game together, this set could slip out of hand rather quickly. And that one's just too long. Just an easy point. You hand it over to Mohawk there.
Yeah, you've seen every player on the floor and every player on the bench shout out for the Mountaineers. That one was a no-doubter. With a chance to return now, it's Sailor Smith.
That one goes long.
And there's the intelligence of Kyla Wilkins, as we talked about, as she watches that one drift over her shoulder.
It's not an easy play sometimes, just letting that one go. You have the instinct as an athlete to want to hit it and get that ball over, and letting it go is probably the hardest thing you could do.
The set here to Watson, can't get through the block, and despite a nice effort from Alex Bartman, that one goes back over the head of Watson for a Mountaineer point.
Beautiful block there by the Mountaineers, able to really fight for that point. And again, they're still only down here by 4 as the set is going the distance, it looks like.
Tough play on the net. But they do kick it over to Heaney. And
nice
Hybert,
block.
the kills leader, can't get that through the Humber blockers, and nor does that one, as Knowles corrals it, another opportunity. And Watson, strong play to Knowles. Kuiper to Hybert. Over on one goes Hybert. Heaney now, Knowles kicks it up in the air. Nice play by Childs. Kuiper puts it over. Wilkins once again sliding in. And a strong kill with authority, Kirstanisic.
Yeah, what another crazy ball hit there. Knowles just couldn't handle, a little too hot to handle. And she puts that one right behind us.
Yeah, we're sitting courtside here at the Hawks Nest, and with the speed of this game, we're gonna be sure to keep our eyes out. As running back is Kinsley, attempting to work that one towards the net was Amanda Caper, but just unable to do so, as that's a tough play.
Yeah, not much they could have done there. Just trying to keep themselves alive. They just really have no choice than to put that ball out of bounds.
Controlled by the libero. Kuiper will put it up far side over there to Kaylin Emsley, but she'll put that into the net.
Another timeout here.
Granted towards the Mountaineers, as we hear some pep in the step of the Hawks over there, as they got to be pretty pleased with their start here, off to a 7-point lead in set number 1.
Yeah, coming out of that first timeout, looked like Mohawk might have been climbing back into this one. But those last few plays we had there, it looked like Humber's really starting to run away with this one. Up by 7 here now, only needs 7 more points to come away with this set. And look, not too much of a tall order by the looks of how this one's going.
So, I mean, there had to be questions coming off that tough loss and losing that streak, but the girls seem to be strong to respond well, as we expected, as they're off to a hot start here tonight.
Yeah, they're absolutely not worried about it. No one on the Humber side looks too concerned. A lot of smiles right now. Everyone pretty pepped up and ready to go. It looks like they're about to take the court here is right for the next play here.
So the Hawks trying to keep pace with the 5-0 Fanshot Falcons. They sit 3-1 currently, as their focus is on one thing only, And that's their 12th straight OCAA championship this season. Krstanisic with the serve. Kuiper, a nice bump to get it up over there to Emsley. Watson with a soft little volley over. That's corralled by Knowles here. Emsley once again off the fingertip of the blocker, Falcomer and Watson. That'll go down as a Mohawk point. So here's Emsley. Aforementioned 11 service aces.
Yeah, she's really the serve specialist on this team.
So we see Julia Watson crank one to Holly Clark, the Ribeiro, right in the chest, and she was unable to corral that one as that drops to the floor. We'll take a look at it here, that kill.
Yeah, tough play when that ball's coming right at you from that angle. Not much she could have done there.
You could tell by the look on Watson's face, she didn't like the way that serve came off her hand, and it'll go wide of the line.
Yeah, it's one of those plays where I think she knew immediately that that wasn't going to be a good one.
Jessica Hybert on the serve into the net. She's the kills leader for this Mountaineer squad with 55, but despite that success, I'm sure she won't be too pleased with that point into the net.
No, you never want to give a point away to the other team just like that, especially when you're down and about to lose the set here.
Here's a fresh face to the lineup. That's Campana with the serve.
That one just sails long as they just hand another point over here to Humber.
Yeah, Kinsley Child with that attempted kill there, but that sailed a mile long, and Campana will have another opportunity to serve. Over on one goes Falcomer off the block of Knowles, and it's the 22nd point of the set for the Hawks.
Another great play there by Falcomer, just sending that one over. Put a lot of power behind that one, able to get the point.
That one off the arms of Jesse McIsaac, as that one goes all the way up and off the scoreboard.
Nice serve there by Campana. Another one just too hot to handle for the Mohawk players. They're only a couple points here away from defeating the first set.
Kuiper puts it up to Knowles, and that'll just squeak in on the back line, says the official, much to the chagrin of Chris Wilkins, head coach of the Hawks.
Everyone on Humber thought that was going out. Everyone just kind of looked at it. No one really went for it. Just gave Mohawk an easy point there.
Campana there on the bump. Set to Falcomer.
Nice play.
Once again, up off the fingertips of the Mountaineer blockers and unable to get to it in the backcourt. And Falcomer really seems to be taking this game over at the net.
Yeah, she's really establishing herself as a real force at the middle block, at the front line. A lot of good balls she's getting with a lot of good power to earn a lot of points here tonight.
Between Falcomer and Krstanisic. Very formidable pair up there on the net, as that one finds itself in on the cross-court kill.
If Mohawk isn't careful, it could be a case of too little, too late here, as Humber's only 1 point away here from wrapping up the set. Oh, nice dig there.
The athleticism shown there by Wilkins, as that one goes up to Knowles in the middle. Nice dig there on Humber's side. That's Krstanisic getting it over. And Knowles cannot find the open court. Point goes to the Hawks. That's number 25, and that's a W in set number 1. So, Andrew, what did you see of the Hawks coming out hot in set number 1?
Yeah, they really came out hot to earn those 4 quick points there to open up the set. Looked like Mohawk was going to really respond well after that timeout. They were getting a few points there. It was really back and forth. But then Humber, after that, really is able there to establish a rhythm there again. And Rosella Falcomer really all over that front line, able to get a lot of good plays away, a lot of good balls over the net, and really establish herself as a force here in that first set.
Yeah, a lot of credit has to go the way of Falcomer and Krstonovic, as they've both had a very, very successful beginning of this game on the net. But we'd be remiss if we didn't mention Kyla Wilkins.
Kyla Wilkins, yeah.
What she's done tonight. Her athleticism has been off the charts. We've seen her diving and charging after balls, really kind of the heartbeat of this entire women's volleyball program this year.
No question, she really is the captain of this Humber volleyball defense. Just getting in there, getting those digs. A lot of hard balls that she's having to get to and keeping her team alive, and eventually it leads to a lot of points, as we've seen here today.
Yeah, already on the season, before actually coming into this game, she's had a few tonight. She had 42 digs so far on the year. Julia Watson second on the club with 25. So if you're head coach Chris Wilkins for the Hawks, what do you think you'd be telling the group right now going into set number 2?
I think you just got to tell them to keep it up. They've been playing really well here thus far. They have a really balanced group here tonight. Mohawk is more of a top-heavy lineup, so you really got to focus in on that, know who their best players are, and try and keep the ball away from them as best as you can. And really just keep going about it the way you want to play your game.
Yeah, you mentioned the top-heavy lineup of the Mohawk Mountaineers. Jessica Heidbert leads the team far and away with 55 kills, and the stat that absolutely leaps off the page is Amanda Kuiper, whose name we've called repeatedly tonight. She has 130 assists on the season.
And her team has 149, so that gives her 87% of her team's assists coming into this one. And it's incredible too, because Mohawk sits 7th as a team in assists per set. And you gotta look at that and think, oh, it's obviously Kuiper that's responsible for this. So she's obviously a very talented player, and Humber's gonna want to keep the ball away from her as much as possible.
Absolutely. Kuiper, the entire Mohawk offense really seems to work its way through the hands of Amanda Kuiper.
Yeah, the offense really works the way through her to eventually Heidbert, who is the real point/kill specialist for that team. So it's really keeping the ball out of those two hands, especially, that you want to look out for.
Looks like we're just about to get underway for set number 2 as the girls get ready. So the Hawks look to carry on that momentum they had in set number 1.
Falconer is going to start this set on the bench for Humber, give her a little bit of a well-deserved rest after quite the impressive first set.
Absolutely. Be Alex Bartman, Julia Watson, and Alex Krstonovic in the front court for the Hawks. Set number 2 underway. All the way from the back court. Henderson unable to kill. And a nice dig attempt made there by Bartman.
And Heidbert there just fights her way through a couple Humber blockers to earn that point there. They almost were able to get it back, but couldn't quite fight it off. And that ball was just a little too hot to handle.
To the back court, that's Wilkins. Bartman over to Watson. Off the top of the net, off the hand of Smith, and on the scoreboard for the Hawks. Tied at 1.
And that ball just barely made it over, but barely still counts as Humber ties the game here 1-1 in the early stages of this second set.
Here's Kirsten Osic, second-year player. And that set by the libero finds its way over the net. Guess who? Falconer over there getting a hand on it and putting it down.
Nice cheeky little play there. Just slow it down a bit. Catch everyone on Mohawk there a little off guard, as they may have expected that pass to come in hot.
Kuiper puts it up to the far side of the court. A nice dig there by Heaney. Watson with the kill, going cross court.
Nice play there by Watson, finding a spot in the court where no Mohawk Mountaineers were to defend that. She just finds the court there for an easy point.
Going into this one, Julia Watson is leading the team with 31 kills as she's adding to that total tonight. As that serve goes out.
Another serve just a little too long there. Mohawk back within 1.
Jennifer Knowles now trying to tie things up for Mohawk. Bartman to Falcomer off the fingertips, gets it over. Kuiper once again to Heidbert. And that's what we talked about, Heidbert with the point there.
And Heidbert able to trick out a couple of the Humber blockers there. It's Bartman and Falcomer that were both fooled by that one, as the ball went both to the right when they were expecting it to come in on the left.
Bartman near side to Watson, off the block, corralled by Kuiper. Clark, the libero, tipped over by Emsley, and Wilkins will hit it over to Heaney. Once again, Kuiper. That ball is out, and that point will go the way of the Hawks.
Mohawk not happy with that one, but we saw it here. That ball sailed way long. No question that's going to be a point for Humber. They're back on top here, 4-3.
Watson gets it over to Clark.
Oh, nice block there by Falcomer.
Making her presence felt. The 6-footer from Verona, Italy, having quite the day here at the Hawks Nest.
Yeah, she has been impressive.
Controlled by Clark. Over to Heidbert. That one corralled by Knowles. Nice play there in the backcourt. Wilkins will bump that one over. Knowles to Kuiper. To Heidbert. Nice play off the net by Knowles. Far side, that's Emsley. Bartman over on 2. Nice play there by Watson. A little bit of a miscommunication there as that ball goes out. And head coach Wilkins, he seems sure that one went out, and so does Julia Watson.
Yeah, it's tough to tell from our angle as we're blocked by the scorer's table, but Humber, all the Hawks seem to think that it was in, but the referee disagrees and gives the point to Mohawk.
Yeah, Wilkins thinks there's been 2 points that haven't have gone the way, but it doesn't matter now as his team battles in the second set here against Mohawk, and a rally underway here.
That one sails long, another point here for Humber.
And once again, the court presence of Wilkins. That ball fired directly at her, but had the presence of mind on this replay, as we see, to know where that ball was heading.
Yeah, she just gets out of that way in time. Good heads-up play.
Smart volleyball so far here by the Hawks.
And Wilkins proves that sometimes the best play to make is the one that you don't make in the case there.
As Heidbert puts that kill off the arms of Watson. Heidbert now for the Mountaineers. Wilkins, Bartman. And Haley Henderson, the impressive first year, will miss that one long.
It's a tie game here again, the second set, 6-6. As Heidbert gets ready to serve again.
Wilkins bumps to Bartman, and Falcomer.
Once again.
A little bit of confusion on that point, but the call and the point does go Humber's way, as I sound like a broken record here with Falcomer, but she's really been a main key in the cog of this Humber offense.
And she's getting ready here to serve. Already with 3 service aces on the season coming into this one. Let's see what she can do here.
A little bit of a discussion here between Heidbert and the head coach. It's Matthew Schnarr over there in his 3rd year.
Not happy with that last call. Maybe asking for a little bit of clarification there.
So now an official separates the coach and player.
We're about ready to get started back here again.
And a yellow card goes the way of Mohawk. Heidberg now pleading her case with the chair umpire, but nothing doing.
And she's going to come out of this one. Holly Clark's going to come back in.
Opportunity for Humber now with Heidberg off the floor. Knowles puts it up. Strong Spike there by Kinsley Child, and that's off the arms of Emma Heaney, who could not get a hold of that absolute rocket.
Yeah, that one came hot right at her, and she could not do anything about that there. She could only get a hand on it to deflect it.
So Child showing a bit of power there on the court, not to be outdone by these Hawks.
Getting ready to serve here for Mohawk is Amanda Kuiper.
A little bit of an issue here with the scoreboard, but looks as though we have that corrected now. Barman up to Kirsto Nosic. Oh my goodness, what a day by her and Falcomer is on the net. The Hawks have been unbeatable.
Yeah, just able to fight that one through the Mohawk block as we get another look at that one. Nice, great point there for Humber. Again, they're back on top here now by a score of 8-7. Sets a lot closer than the last one, can tell you that. Humber puts away another point there.
And they rule that a Mohawk hand went over that line, as that was a tough play directly on top of the net. But the point on the violation goes the way of the Hawks. Alex Barman puts that serve over. Kuiper sets to Knowles, blocked by Watson to the back court. That's Heaney. Bartman, little tip over by Kirsten Nosic. And Knowles powers that one through the Humber hands, and that'll go down as a point for Mohawk. Is unable to pull away, or the Humber Hawks.
Nice, powerful spike there as she's able to fight that one through the Humber block. And another player there, I believe that was Emma Heaney, not able to get their hand on that to play that one cleanly.
Low serve, crowd by Wilkins. I'll go to the far side. Henderson puts it over. And that one finds its way in. Alex Bartman thought that was going to go long and pulled those hands away, but it does find the back line, says the official, and we're all tied up at 9.
Mohawk showing a lot of fight here in this set. Maybe a little ticked off about how that last set went. They're going to really want to establish themselves here. Humber's going to have to watch out as that serve goes long. That's Kinsley Child putting that one just way long. It hands a point there to Humber.
In a tight game like this, those are not the points you want to concede to the other side.
Absolutely not. Especially when you're already down by a set here.
Clark there, the libero, Kuiper. Knowles puts it down for a Mountaineer point.
Another point there for Knowles as she just fires that one down the line there in a tough spot.
Yeah, Knowles, calm and steady presence, have the only fifth-year player on the squad. See Sailor Smith with the serve here to Wilkins. Bartman will feed Watson off the block and out. Smart play by Watson there to let that one drop out of bounds.
Nice play there by Watson to get that one over the net, and then better play there with the presence of mind to let that one go for the point.
Seeing Kyla Wilkins there exit the game as her coach will give her a rest. As Bartman corrals this one up to Watson through two blockers. A nice play by the libero Clark. Watson with another opportunity. Cross court point. Or apologies, that point will go to Mohawk. So once again, we are tied.
This back and forth set continues.
Heaney.
Oh, nice dig there by Wilkins.
Strong play there by Henderson, but good defense by the Mountaineers. Henderson with the dig. It's up to Watson, off the arms of Knowles. Far side to Elmsley. And that point goes the way of Humber.
Humber back up top, 12-11 here. They're gonna look to pull away here as they're just about the halfway point of this set.
Absolutely, the Mountaineers putting up much more of a fight in set number 2. As
Tied
Watson,
again.
that's not the first time Watson's mishandled a serve tonight, and she doesn't seem too pleased with herself. But with her presence at the net, there's not too much to be upset about as you see Wilkins get over there with a smile and cheer up her teammate. And it'll be Wilkins. To Bartman, to Heaney.
Oh, nice.
That's a
kill
big
there.
kill. And that gets the crowd and the bench fired up as momentum seems to be back on the side of the Hawks.
Yeah, I was just about to say the same thing. This could be a big momentum swing, that play for Humber. Let's see how they respond here.
Heaney with a knuckler over the net. That's Heidbert. Nice play by Watson. Heaney kicks it up far side to Henderson. Kuiper cross court. Again, nice dig. Violation on Humber there as that point will go the way of the Mountaineers. A little bit of a clarification between the Humber team and Coach Wilkins with the official. So all of a sudden, the intensity starts to ramp up in this one. So we find ourselves in a tight set number 2.
Yeah,
Henderson off the block. Big point for Humber as they try to pull away.
Yeah, we're still waiting for one team here to pull away, as it looks like when one team is just about to, the other one just responds with another big play in this back and forth set.
Yeah, been a fun set to watch so far.
Should be a crazy ending, can't wait.
Clark there for Mohawk. And a nice play by Coach Wilkins with a little flip kick on that one, much to the delight of the girls on the bench.
That one sails long, handing Humber a 2-point lead here. And this is going to be their opportunity to pull away with Falcomer getting ready to serve.
She fires a rocket. And that'll be a service ace for Falcomer, who appears to do no wrong tonight. Every time we call her name, she's making a big play.
Oh, you said it. She's just been on fire here tonight. She's getting ready to serve here again.
But that one finds its way out. Maybe spoke a little too soon. May have jinxed Falcomer there as that serve goes long. And back into the game, checks the libero, Wilkins.
Oh, that ball just barely gets over.
Heads up play by Bartman to Henderson. And that one off a couple of Mohawk fingertips.
Emsley there just tried to get a finger on it, but just couldn't keep it in. Point here goes back to Humber. So they're up here again by 3, looking to pull away. Only 8 points away here from getting the set, of course.
A little bit of a floater serve there. Spike from the back court. Wilkins now settles the squad to Watson. Through the block, but a nice dig made. Clark puts it up to Kuiper. And that's out for another Humber point. As we mentioned, pulling away late. This could be the time, and sensing that momentum shift, Matthew Schnarr calls a timeout for his squad. A lot of smiles on this Humber side of the bench as they're pretty pleased with their performance so far tonight, and rightfully so, I would say.
Oh yeah, can't disagree with that. And again, the mantra from the bench just has to be keep doing what you're doing, keep firing on all cylinders, keep the game plan going. And on the flip side from Mohawk, they just got to get something going here. They were keeping up. That whole second set, it was really back and forth right there, but you could see they're really looking defeated there now. No one really smiling. Just kind of looking down, punched over. They're going to want to get back into this one if they're going to want us to keep alive.
Yeah, very impressed with the Mountaineers in this set. Really seemed to keep it close the whole way.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of good performances here today, especially Jennifer Knowles is one, especially there with a few good kills here. And she's been very good here today, just getting those points for Mohawk tonight. Getting a lot of power behind those big spikes.
Saw a close-up look at Chris Wilkins there in his 24th year as the head coach for the Humber Hawks. Clark corrals that one. Smith on the spike. Wilkins will pull it up here to Watson. Off the top of the net, and point goes the way of the Mountaineers as they claw themselves back into this one, down 3.
And that's the response they were looking for coming out of that timeout there. These next few plays are going to be big, determining how this set's going to end. Of course, Mohawk, if they climb back into this one, this could be a long set.
Wilkins corrals that serve from Childs. And
That
that
lands
attempts.
Oh, no, excuse me.
Yeah, Kirsten
out.
Osich there. Just missed a few feet.
Get the
Take
replay
a
on
look
that.
at that.
Yeah, just
See
out.
it just barely missed that outside line. Wilkins puts it up to Bartman. That's Watson on the far side with the kill. And just as the Mountaineers were getting their footing, getting a little bit of momentum, it's Watson with a big kill here.
Great kill there by Watson, putting it towards the back center of that court, just in a spot where no Mountaineers were to handle that. And Humber back up by 3 here.
Kuiper puts it up to Knowles. Off the arms of Heaney. They'll drop down for a point.
The real competitive set here continues, as a few times here it looked like Humber was just ready to pull away, but Mohawk just keeps fighting back here.
Fresh face here for the Mountaineers. That's Jordan Gertz on the serve. Bartman finds Watson, finds the back corner. Point for the Hawks. Now just 5 points away from taking a commanding 2-set lead in this match. So once again, Wilkins, the libero, will take a breather and exit the court. And a nice quick set there by Caper. And a big kill there from Hybrid. Just getting a hand on that one, but unable to be controlled by Falconer.
A little bit of a miscommunication there by the Hawks, handing a point over to the Mountaineers. They're only within 1 here, as this set is still up for grabs. Oh no.
Service ace there for Knowles, as that one just clears the net.
Humber here's in its call timeout.
Good call, Andrews. Coach Wilkins has seen enough. He's going to want to talk to his group.
Yeah, maybe Humber feeling a little bit too overconfident coming out of that last timeout. They're going to really want to get their game together. Got to keep doing what they were doing before. They're coming out with a lot of aggressiveness early on. Not so much there. There's a little bit of miscommunication. You got to just keep talking to each other. Know where you're going to be and when, as we said before. And hopefully, if they finish up strong, they could get this set away in the bank.
This game could really be a turning point for this season. We mentioned a fairly disappointing loss. I mean, losing that streak of 155 games can't be too pleasant, but if you're Coach Wilkins, you've had nothing but success for 7 years, and it looks as though it's going to continue, as this Hawk squad this year showing a real fight, showing a real energy, as they've been a powerhouse so far this season.
Yeah, I don't even think that streak is even on the back of their minds right now. And it might be better to get that thing, something like that out of the way early in the season, so you can just focus on playing volleyball for the rest of the season. Just focus at the goal at hand.
Absolutely, the Hawks on the lookout for that 12th straight provincial championship.
And who is that? Falconer with the kill there. The ball is way too hot to handle for Mohawk. Just fires that one in there. And Child had no chance there. Just trying to corral that ball, but again, just not able to.
That serve goes out from Watson, as her serving struggles continue so far today. Emsley finds the net as Humber inches closer to this second set victory.
And both teams, not much margin for error here as we get closer and closer to the end of this set.
Heaney exits the game now, make way for Campana with the serve.
Oh no, right into the net. And we're tied again here at 22.
And a deep sigh from Coach Wilkins. I'm sure that's not what he wanted to see throwing Campana in the game, but she's a very strong defender in a tight game like this. She's someone you'd want on the floor. As Hydberg now, chance to take the lead late here. Campana, Bartman, Henderson gets down for a big Hawks point, as they're now just 2 points away from taking this set. Take a look at the replay here.
Henderson, a nice strong spike there, right in the middle of the court where no Mountaineers were able to find that point. They're only 2 away here, but this one again is going down to the wire.
Ooh, and a tough break for number 13, Kaylin Emsley on the Mountaineers, as that serve from Falconer right through the hands. And after that, mental lapse, another timeout taken by Matthew Schnarr.
Yeah, not a bad timeout there to take, as you did have one left. Why not take it when you're 1 point away here from dropping the set? But as we said before, not much room for error, and that was a big one there when you're only 2 points away from losing the set. And that could be the end of this one unless we see a very strong showing by Mohawk coming out of this timeout.
Yeah, we've seen it a couple times tonight. These Mohawk timeouts, they come out strong afterwards, and they're definitely going to need it here without much room for error. Just 1 point away from dropping this very important second set.
Looks like Humber's fired up and ready to go here, though. We got Falconer serving here with an attempt to wrap up the set. Let's see what happens.
And who else would you want the ball in the hands of? Falconer with a chance to win it. Corralled by Clark, put up by Kuiper. Far side to Child. Volley to Watson, to Bartman. Kirsten Osic unable to get the point there as it's Child again off the block. A great
nice pancake
dig by Watson. And the point and the set go to the Hawks, as that's Haley Henderson who gets the last point. And it's all smiles on the side of the Humber Hawks as we take a look at that set clinching point. And Andrew, you mentioned the pancake. How about that?
Oh yeah, don't see that play too much, but when you see it comes up big, and Watson there coming up huge, that pancake just to keep that play alive and eventually lead to that point. And Humber now up 2 sets to none with the chance to sweep it up here in the third.
It's always nice to get that 25th point in a set, but when it comes off a pretty play like that, you gotta be pretty pleased with themselves. As in the middle between set number 2 and 3, we're getting the crowd going as they're tossing t-shirts to the Hawks faithful that turned up to the nest tonight to watch this women's volleyball action.
And who doesn't love some free swag?
I was gonna say, Andrew, I think we sat on the wrong side of the court tonight.
Yeah, next time we gotta put them back in the stands. Could use some few Humber Hawks t-shirts.
As the crowd's getting into this one, and do not forget, coming up at 8 o'clock, we do have the men's contest against these same Mohawk Mountaineers. It'll be myself and Andrew Milani on the call for that one. You catch that live on the Hawk Sports Network.
Should be a good matchup.
Absolutely, if it's anything like the one we've seen tonight, should be pretty entertaining, as this one so far, 2 sets go the way of the Hawks over Mohawk as they look to close this one out. And what have you seen from the response of these Hawks in their first game post-loss?
Well, certainly a lot of fight we've seen by them. Kyla Wilkins has been doing her thing, getting those digs, being the real defensive captain. Then now on the offensive end, Haley Henderson, Julia Watson, Alex Kristinovich, and of course, Rosella Falconer have all come up big, getting big points here for Humber and really being the offensive leaders for them here tonight. But they will need to clean things up here a little bit going to the third set. A little bit of miscommunication that we saw. They're going to really want to clean that up, keep things clean, going to that third set, hopefully wrap things up with a sweep.
The Hawks will look to do just that. It appears as though we're just a couple minutes away from this third set, in which the Hawks hope will be the last set. But if the Mountaineers have anything to do with it, it will not be going that way.
Yeah, they are down here, but not quite out. They will have to fight back hard if they want to come back and win this one. Obviously, the odds are not in their favor, but if we played sports on paper, then things would be a lot different. We obviously play them in real life, so they are not out yet, and Humber will have to finish the job here. And they will have 3 opportunities here to do so. Obviously, you don't want to use all 3 opportunities. They will want to sweep things up.
Absolutely, looking to get out of here quick tonight and win that third set as the ladies take the floor for set number 3 here at the Hawks Nest.
Sorry.
Whistle sounds. We're ready to get underway.
I think Mohawk's going to come out here with a lot of fight here in this third set. Of course, being kind of pushed to the curb here. They're going to have to fight hard to come back into this one. Haley Henderson with the serve.
That's Kuiper finding Knowles, and that'll find the floor just out of the outstretched arms of Haley Henderson.
We were talking before about Knowles, those big, powerful spikes, and uses that again to get the point.
Wilkins handles that serve from Knowles, put over by Kirsten Osic. There's Heidbert, the kills leader, unable to get one there, as Wilkins sets up Watson off the bump of Knowles. Far court and down. That's number 12, Jessie McIsaac, who returned to this game. She'll get the point there. The second year from Aurelia.
Big point there to put Mohawk up here 2-0 in the third set. So after a great start.
Wilkins with a nice play off the net. Watson with the kill opportunity.
That one just misses. Mohawk will get the point here.
So definitely the biggest lead of the night for the Mountaineers as they jump out to a 3-0 lead. That serve from Knowles cannot find its way over the net. First point is set number 3 for the Hawks. As Wilkins exits this game, we'll see Falconer come in.
That stops Mohawk from getting on a little bit of a roll here. And let's see if Humber can do something as they have serve now.
That low serve just clears the net.
Oh.
Tipped over by Caper.
Nice cheeky play there by Caper. We mentioned before she's known more for her assists, but nice heads-up play there to get the kill. And Humber maybe not expecting that.
See that ball just come right on top of the net there. That's a tough play to set. Likely the right decision to put that over by Kuiper. As Watson with a thunderous spike, but won't drop. Heidbert off the block. And a violation called. The point will go the way of Humber. So for the first time tonight, it's Humber's job to fight their way back from a deficit. They're down 2 here. Watson goes cross court, over on 1 goes Heaney. Kuiper to Heidbert. Watson seemed a little unsure of how to get a hold of that one, as she's unable to do so.
Another point here from Mohawk as it looks like they're eyeing this third set here.
And you mentioned, Andrew, they'd come out with a lot of fire in this set, and it sure appears as though they've had, as that one's kicked all the way to the backcourt. Up to Wilkins now to bump it over. Kuiper finding Smith. And once again, dropping in front of Julia Watson.
Yeah, Watson just barely able to not get that one. Just landing in front of her.
So take a look at that kill there by Sailor Smith. Heibert now to Wilkins. Bartman to Falconer. Off the block, off the umpire's chair. And the Hawks trying to claw their way back into this one.
Falconer, she's going to have to really establish herself as a force here once again if Humber wants to get up back on top and win this third set. And of course, take the match.
That floater of a serve corralled by the libero. Kuiper there, unable to find open court. And the Hawks now find themselves behind just 2. Trailed as many as 4 earlier in the set.
Yeah, they were looking a little out of sorts here coming into the third set as
Speaking of out of sorts.
Heaney puts one into the net there. But they were showing a lot of fight there. Now they're going to have to respond to Amanda Kuiper serving. Let's see what she could do.
Kuiper, a third-year player from Woodstock. So that first touch goes way up in the air, put over to Henderson. Nice play made by the Mohawk side. And a tough play there as Julia Watson attempted that dig, but just couldn't come up with it.
Yeah, it was a real tough play that she was attempting there. Ball just out of reach. And Mohawk back on top by 4.
Kuiper once again. Wilkins puts it way up. That's Bartman. Falcomer just tips it over. Kuiper to Smith. Over on 1 goes Henderson. It'll be Knowles with this attempt.
But she puts it right into the net and hands Humber there another point. So they're back within 3 here in the third set.
The Hawks looking to close out this match. Already took the first 2 sets from the Mountaineers, but then find themselves in a 3-point deficit. Caper to Childs.
Nice
Off the block and
there.
out. As you mentioned, Andrew, quite the block made, but that'll find its way out of bounds for a Mountaineer point. Child serve, controlled by Henderson. Bartman now, Kirsten Osic can't get that point. That one's put way up, but easily handled by Wilkins. Henderson finds the line and finds the point for Humber, as they're now down 3.
Henderson there just keeping Humber in this one. Down by 3, of course, they're going to look to claw back and hopefully tie the game here up and eventually take the lead, looking to capture this set.
Hawks attempting to battle back in this one as Clark puts it up to Kuiper. Violation called on that hit there from Jesse McIsaac is touched twice, says the chair umpire, and that point goes the way of Humber.
And Humber really clawing their way back into this set.
But that won't help as Alex Bartman puts that serve into the netting.
Very little lapse in play there by Bartman, usually known as quite the good server for this team, averaging a service ace per set, just not able to get that one over the net.
And Watson, not the strongest of hands on that one, as she'll put that into the netting, and that'll force Coach Wilkins to have a timeout and talk this over with his lineup.
Yeah, it's a good spot here to take a timeout. Down by 4 for the 3rd time here in this set. You really got to find a way to claw back into this one, as it looks like Humber's been getting a little stagnant here. And they need to find some of that fire that they had, especially in the late parts of that 2nd set, but mostly in that 1st set where they really came out all cylinders firing. Mohawk here really looks like they're going to take this set here. They've been playing really strong here right now.
Now, what exactly do you think that difference is between this set and set number 1? Is it just the intensity factor?
I think so. We've seen that end of some miscommunication as well. We have seen some of that in a little bit of 2nd set and a little bit of here in this 3rd set. Maybe the players not talking to each other as much and a little bit just out of position. They're gonna want to really improve that here.
Yeah, that's a good point, Andrew. Is a lot of laughter, a lot of dancing, a lot of high-fiving early on in this game for Humber, but now find themselves in tough, down 4 points in set number 3, looking to get their mojo back.
Got to find that intensity.
As they await the serve from Smith. Henderson with the opportunity. But that'll go the way of Mohawk, as they rule that was a net touch. So we'll take a replay here.
Mohawk taking their biggest lead of the set here now, up by 5, 7-12, or 12-7 here, I should say.
Hawks with their work cut out for them here. As Wilkins sets up Bartman. Kirsto Sonisic with the point there, is that can't be handled. So we'll take a look at that last point.
Haley Henderson with the serve.
Kuiper once again finding Knowles. A fingertip floater that worked its way out the back end of that court for a Humber point.
Humber finding their way back into this set. If you ask me, all it takes here is just one big play to really get Humber going here again. Maybe get that fire going under them. Oh, nice cheeky play there.
Kuiper now with an opportunity. And that one will find its way in. Jessie McIsaac, who didn't start this game, but is now having her presence felt on the net as she scores another cross-court winner as we take a look here.
Yeah, just able to get it through the block, and Wilkins way out of position for that one, tried to get it, but couldn't get there in time.
Opportunity for Henderson, and that just squeaks out that back line, mere inches from being in, and that'll extend the Mohawk lead to 5.
Yeah, that had potential to be a big play there. Could have been a big kill to get some momentum going there for Humber, but instead the point goes to Mohawk.
Off the Humber block, and the kills leader of the Mountaineers, Hybert, gets that one there. The Mountaineers really appear to be taking control of set number 3.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Up by 6. It looks like Mohawk's just about getting ready to run away with this set and get back within one set here of Humber.
Let's see if the Hawks could find a spark here to get back into it. Didn't get it from Watson there, as that's a nice block by Hydberg. And even the speedy Wilkins can't get to that ball, as another point goes the way of the Mountaineers. Lead up to 7 now. That's their largest of the matchup. Watson off the strong block. That's number 12 and number 9, McIsaac and Hydberg on the block for the Mountaineers, as defensively seem to be clicking like a clock.
Interesting analogy.
Thought I had something more clever, just couldn't pull it out of me.
Uh-oh. Big miscommunication there by Mohawk. Another easy point there handed to Humber.
Nice play there by McIsaac to go
Going into the crowd to get that ball.
5 rows up to retrieve that one. We're ready to go. As Kuiper finds Hybert with a little flip. And that might be the break they needed. As a little confusion on the side of Mohawk as to why that point was awarded to the Hawks. But nonetheless, it does go Humber's way as they find themselves within 4.
Yeah, a lot of confusion there from the Mohawk side of the court.
Knowles. Nice play by Bartman. Puts it up to Watson. Off the hands of Kuiper. And just as we talked about, Andrew, that might have been the spark. Few points here go the way of Humber, and that bench is starting to get fired up.
They're starting to see a lot more liveliness coming from the Humber side. They're looking to claw their way back into this one, but Mohawk, another point here as they're back up by 4.
Hybert, the kills machine, gets that one. There's been a few names on this Mohawk side who have really done a vast majority of the damage.
Yeah, as we mentioned before, a real top-heavy team for Mohawk as Humber gets the point there.
Watson put everything into that one. That was a cannon off the hand. With a bit of frustration she's had today with some missed serves, that's got to feel good to put that one on the floor.
Yeah, and you know it's a good play when the other team's libero can't make a play on that one.
And that'll make her feel better too. A nice little service ace for Julia Watson.
And McIsaac, again, just not able to get control of that one. Kind of just got under that and floated above her. She's just not able to make the play on that one. Yeah, tough play. And Humber really clawing their way back into this one. Down only by 2 as they were down by 6 at one point.
Just like that, it didn't take long. A game of runs.
It didn't. Yeah, and it's looking like it's anyone's set here at this point. Yeah, it looks like it could be one of these sets where whoever makes that next big play could be their set. We'll see.
Be interesting to see Humber trying to close out these Mountaineers with this victory in set number 3, and Mohawk just looking to stay alive as they find themselves already down 2 sets.
And again, as we mentioned before, the key for Humber here is just got to be to keep that intensity, that fire going, keep communication lines up. We've seen before, though, when they've been playing at their worst is when no one has been talking to each other and people are finding themselves out of position, not knowing where they're supposed to be at the right time. But when everyone's talking to each other and getting going, I find that intensity. That's when they've been playing best here tonight. Looks to keep some of that going.
When you're trying to find your way, what better handman could he ask for than Chris Wilkins, as he's seen just about everything in his time with the Humber volleyball program.
Can't beat experience, and he's got 24 years of it.
So off that awkward play, Wilkins bumps it over. Now back on the side of Humber. Nice play. That's Sally Nguyen now in the game as she had her first touch. Watson's opportunity won't go. Falcomer, Bartman over on 2.
Oh, man.
Off the hand of Knowles, and that's a big Humber point. As now this home crowd all of a sudden starting to come alive in set number 3.
Yeah, nice quick play there. Maybe looked like Mohawk was expecting another volley there by Bartman, excuse me, but she just puts it right over for the point. And Humber
Tough
back
play on the
within
net
1.
for Kuiper, able to get it over. That's Watson. We'll put it up for Bartman. Falcomer.
Another big kill there for Falcomer. She just puts that right in the backcourt.
Nick Isaac with the dig attempt there for the Mountaineers, but just unable to get to it.
Yeah, tough play, just out of her range. She was just a little too far back for that one.
And it didn't take long, but this momentum has definitely swung. As Nick Isaac puts it up high to Kuiper. Far side to Child, off the hands of Wilkins. And she can't get enough of that as that bullet off the hand of Child finds its way into the Humber bench.
Yeah, you call it a bullet. I call that one a rocket. That one was just flying, and Wilkins just totally unable to make a play on that one. And Mohawk here back up by 1. And what's a very big third set for them.
Wilkins with a nice dig. Falcomer.
Point for Humber.
Violation on the side of Mohawk. That's an easy point for Humber, and they'll take that as they tie this one up at 18.
And just like the last set, this looks like this one's gonna go right down to the wire. Tied 18 here. It looked like early on Mohawk was gonna capture this set, but Humber really doing a great job fighting back into this set. Oh, nice cheeky play there.
Nguyen puts it up to Bartman. A nice little flip over by Falcomer. She showed off the power. She showed off the finesse. Both have been working tonight as Mohawks really had no answer for her at the net.
Yeah, she can really do no wrong here tonight, both offensively and on the defensive end, of course. She's just been doing a great job blocking and, of course, with the kills.
Mohawk starting to time those spikes from Falcomer, so she's resorted to that little tip shot that's been working well for her. Here's Henderson. Able to get it over as Smith finds its way to Bartman. Falcomer.
What do you know?
Humber.
Another big kill there for Falcomer. And Mohawk here is going to take their final timeout here of the set. They're only 5 points away from dropping this match entirely. It looked like they had this third set here not wrapped up, but it looked like it was going to be theirs. All they had to do was just finish strong, and Humber really doing a great job. Really not only matching the intensity, but just bringing it forward and adding on to that.
Yeah, Humber really faced their first adversity in this matchup in set number 3, finding themselves down as many as 7, but now with a 2-point lead and just 5 points away from closing this out and sweeping all 3 sets against the Mountaineers.
Yeah, they've been doing a really great job here.
So you see an impassioned plea from the head coach, Matthew Schnars. He tries to fire up his squad after he's seen his girls let this set slip away.
Yeah, Humber getting 11 of the last 14 points here in this third set. They've just been red hot here after being down by 6 and really wanting to fight back and not wanting to let any set here go to waste. They're going to want to wrap this one up at ASAP. As of course we do have the men's game approximately half an hour after the conclusion of this one. 8 o'clock.
And whether it's skill or whether it's luck for Sally Nguyen doesn't really matter As that one just kisses the top of the net and falls over for a very important 21st point for the Hawks.
And Humber up by 3 for, I believe, the first time here this set. Oh, Nguyen puts that one right into the net. She's not happy with that one, but...
Yeah, that one didn't have a chance. She knew right off the hand, but able to laugh it off as her and her teammates.
Yeah, you can't be brought down by things like that. You just got to move on quickly.
Humber awaits the serve here. It'll be Wilkins with the first touch. Bartman.
Oh,
that's
man.
Henderson with the cross court point.
I don't think you could draw it up any better than that. Perfect cross-court kill there. Putting that in a very difficult spot.
So with 3 points to go into the game come Kirst Onisic. Out goes Wilkins. As the Hawks look to close out this one at the nest. Child off the block. Nice play by Mohawk. Smith puts it over. Nguyen finds its way to Bartman to Henderson. McIsaac gets to it. Child now up to Knowles. A little bit of an awkward first touch by Bartman as she shrugs that one off. This one is far from over here as it's just a narrow 2-point margin going the way of the Hawks.
Yeah, I think Bartman might have been expecting that one to come in a little more strong. But Knowles doing a good job there, giving a little bit of the change up there. Mohawk still within 2.
And a tough play there for Bartman, able to get it over right on top of the net. And she'll corral it here. Not the prettiest of sequences for Humber as they're a little bit all over the place with that one, and they'll concede that point to the Mountaineers, who find themselves trailing by just 1.
And here we go again. Back down to the wire here with this one.
Jordan Gertz on the serve. Nguyen, Bartman, Henderson.
Oh, man.
Just squeaked through the hands of Sailor Smith as she got good contact on that one, but not enough to send it back over.
Yeah, Haley Henderson was just a super strong spike here. Just barely able to fight it over that big block there by Mohawk. And Humber only 2 points away here from wrapping this one up. Oh, man.
Bartman allows Mohawk to stay in this one.
Yeah, Bartman a little uncharacteristic here on the serve here tonight. She's been averaging 1 service ace per set, coming into this one. We haven't seen that magic here from her tonight.
Wilkins over on 1. It's a battle at the net here as Bartman corrals that one. And a big block there. That's Heidberg at the net alongside McIsaac. Have a big block there on Kirsten Onisic. As all of a sudden they've been getting their hands on these Humber spikes, which they haven't been able to do for most of this contest.
Yeah, Mohawk really entering the final stages of this set really strong.
That one won't find its way over. And will drop out for the 24th point of the set for Humber. They're just 1 away here. Mohawk looking to tie this one up. And that point from Heidberg goes way long, and that will do it here. 3 sets go the way of your Humber Hawks as they begin a brand new win streak with win number 1 as the girls put on a show tonight against the Mohawk Mountaineers.
Yeah, absolutely. And if it's up to me, I got to give the player of the game to Rosella Falcomer. She was just all over the court here tonight. Offensively, defensively, with big blocks, big kills, you name it, she was there. And she really carried this Humber team. Some big plays that they could really rally behind here tonight to, of course, get this 3-0 sweep here tonight.
Yeah, Kirsten Onisic alongside Falcomer really had themselves a night, and that's not taking any away from Wilkins, the general of that Humber team, as she had a lot of success as we take a look at some of these replays and that final point, which sealed the deal for this big Humber win. As Coach Wilkins and the girls could go home happy with a big victory and a big sweep over a middle-of-the-pack Mohawk club.
And Rosella Falcomer was just officially named player of the game. No real surprise there. Although Kyla Wilkins did come up big a few times, kept keeping her team alive with some big digs, especially early on in the match. was a big rallying point for these Hawks early on.
So Mohawk will drop to 500. They'll go to 3-3. Humber Hawks improve their record to 4-1 as the ladies find their way off the court, and out come the fellas as the men's game is coming up shortly at 8 p.m. You can watch that live here right on the Hawk Sport Network.
Of course, we'll be calling that one. Don't miss it.
Looking forward to that. If it's anything like the women's game here tonight, it should be quite the matchup, as game number 1 of this doubleheader was a lot of fun. We look forward to the second one to see the stars of the game walk off the field there. There's Bartman and Watson making their way off the court.
They have a lot to be proud of here tonight. They responded well again. We mentioned that the streak coming to an end, but they were not at all disgruntled by that, as they just really powered through. And why not? This could be the start of another streak.
Absolutely.
Right?
With the quality of this Humber Hawks volleyball program, another streak is not out of the question. And you have to take a moment to celebrate what came in these last 7 years for women's volleyball here at Humber. We mentioned again and again the 155 consecutive wins, 11 straight OCAA championships over the span of 7 years. That's something incredible that not many schools could say they accomplished. So these girls held their head up high.
Yeah, great job here tonight by Humber. Can't say that enough.
Nice work. So we sit here and we'll await the men's contest. All right, so we're just lining up an interview here on the sideline as we look to talk to a Humber Hawk. They found their way mostly down the tunnel, but trying to find someone to chat to, and a little bit of preview for the men's game coming up shortly. The Humber Hawks, they sit 4-0 unbeaten. They're second in the West. The Mohawk Mountaineers at 3-2. They find themselves 5th in the West. So the Hawks looking to stay unbeaten on the year.
It's of note, too, that the Humber squad have only dropped 2 sets all season, so they'll be looking to carry that into this one. Very strong start to the season, of course.
An eye to watch in game number 2, Cayman Wilkins. He owns about 1/3 of all the Hawks kills this season. He has 49 out of the team's 161.
And he does sit 4th in the province with 3.8 kills per set. Very impressive number, as we will look to see him all over that net here in the game here tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be, it already has been a fun night of volleyball here at the Hawks Nest. And that'll all but do it for the women's broadcast. Is for Adam Lucier, my broadcasting partner, Andrew Milani. We thank you for watching, and we'll catch you for the men's game later on tonight.